Have you ever wished you just go viral on social media so that you flooded with PMU clients? But what if I told you that you don't even need to post on Instagram to get fully booked? And that the actual reason that you're posting on social media but not seeing much in the way of results is because Instagram isn't even an effective way to get PMU bookings? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact system I use with PMU artists to get 15 to 30 new bookings each month on autopilot, and that's without stressing over content, the algorithm, or views. So with that being said, I don't want there to be any fluff in this video, so let's just get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to explain is why Instagram isn't a good way to get PMU clients. So yeah, here I'm just going to say, so the reason that you find that you can't manage to just crack the algorithm and finally learn how it works so you can go viral is so reason one is it's not your fault, and the second reason is that it's not because it's like some complex skill to master and learn and finally crack, but it's actually just because the algorithm wasn't made to be cracked. So the problem is that it's not that you haven't gone viral, it's just simply that Instagram wasn't meant to book you PMU clients consistently. It was just meant to keep people scrolling, keep people, entertained and just consuming content. So people scrolling Instagram, they aren't searching for PMU services. They're not like really keen to book PMU browsers right now. They're just killing time. So you can think of Instagram like fishing in a swimming pool. So you've got the best bait, you got a top tier fishing rod, and you're standing there every day just casting and waiting, but nothing's biting. And that's not because you're bad at fishing, it's because there's no fish in a swimming pool. So that's what it's like trying to book clients through Instagram. So you're showing up consistently, creating content, doing all the right things, but the potential client isn't there, with the actual aim to book. So, that client instead is just scrolling, just killing time, just watching cat videos or, whatever people watch. So the pool is like, it's full of activity, but there's no fish. And so it doesn't really matter how good your hook is. There's just no actual fish in the pool to be fished. So that's why, the algorithm just feels like a mystery because you're trying to fish in a place with no real buyers again. So even those, who do manage to get clients from Instagram and Facebook, they have to constantly make new content for 1 to 2 years, before they actually do get bookings, because they have to take their followers from, never having heard of PMU before, but just being kind of interested in it, to being comfortable with having their face tattooed and, not worrying anymore that it's going to go horribly wrong and be another horror story, and then to paying you hundreds of dollars to tattoo their face, and then over the course of like 10 years, eventually paying you like thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. And that's just using like 15-second videos at a time, like 15-second reels at a time. So obviously, that's going to take years for that process to be complete. So those would be years of you constantly being on the content hamster wheel, chasing your next client. So now that I've covered that, let's talk about what actually works. So the system that actually works. So because top PMU artists, they don't need to post. They don't need to hop on trends or dance to get followers. But my clients are still getting 15 to 30 new PMU clients each month just on autopilot. So how is that? So the answer is the PMU Freedom Engine, which has two key phases. So phase one, that's your track phase. So instead of thinking, if I just post more, maybe more people will find me, what if we flipped it and said, instead of hoping people will find you, what if there was a surefire way that you could show up exactly when people are already looking? And that's exactly what Google Ads let you do. So imagine a woman in your city tomorrow just wakes up and thinks, I'm just tired of filling in my browser every day. I just really need to get my browse done. And then she pulls out her phone and types into Google, like, on my browse near me, or best emu browse artist in Miami. And then your studio or salon, shows up at the top of the page, before anyone else, before your competition, you show up first. So not a reel, not a post or story, but literally just a direct answer to what she's actively searching for, PMU browse artist. So you're not interrupting her doom scroll, but instead you're just simply meeting her at the right moment when she's ready to book, when she's literally just looking for the best artist near her and she's ready to book your browse. So on Instagram, so your people see you, while they're scrolling, they're just passively scrolling. Whereas on Google, people search for you when they're ready to book, so they're active. So that single shift just from going from passive intent to active intent is a difference between, oh, that looks cool, I might follow, I might like, and maybe never book, compared to, how do I book now and pay you $600 plus, or, whatever you want to charge. And so, by the way, here, so if you've tried Google Ads before but not seen results, that's most likely, and it's not really your fault here, just because you're the PMU artist, you didn't sign up to be like a marketer or a salesperson or anything. So the most likely reason that if you tried Google Ads before and it didn't quite work is you're missing something called just congruency, and that's basically when, so let's say an interested potential client clicked on your ad to learn more about browse, because that's what ad said, but then they were sent to a homepage that just talks about everything you do. So basically what would have happened is that potential client would have got confused and left without booking, so getting you a zero ROI really and just wasting your ad budget. So you can think of it like, let's say I saw a restaurant that says pizza on the outside, and that's exactly what I want right now. But then I walk in, I see like a 25-page menu with sushi, pasta, burgers. So I get confused and I leave before flipping, through all the pages and finally finding the pizza options. So that's exactly what happens, when someone clicks on your ad for browse, but then they land on a homepage talking about lash lifts, eyeliner, lip blush, and then so you'd get confused and you wouldn't instantly see what you're looking for, which in this case is microblading or browse. So then that visitor just leaves, and then you waste the traffic that you paid for. And that wasn't because that visitor wasn't really interested. It's just because that message from the browse, the ad about browse, to the homepage just talking about everything, it just didn't match. There wasn't any congruency. So that's exactly why the Google Ads I'm going to show you in a sec work so well. And it's really because they use a landing page instead of a homepage, which basically the whole goal of a landing page is to be focused on exactly what that potential client that clicked on your ad, what they clicked on. So usually browse, and it's focused on putting that, forefront on something called a landing page instead of just sending them to a homepage with just everything you do. So that actually gets great results. So in a test that we did, the landing page that I'm about to show you exactly what that is, it performed 124% better than the homepage. So that's basically more than double in terms of bookings. So in terms of the Google ad, there it is. That's the highest performing one. On average, these kind of Google ads, they get a 5.5x ROI. So basically 5.5x your money that you put into it. And so yeah, you can screenshot that. As you can see, it's pretty simple in terms of, how you could tailor it for your own like brand, let's say. So yeah, you can screenshot that and use it for yourself. And then the landing page, so here it is. I can zoom in. Okay, there it is. I've just zoomed in there, so it's kind of blurry, but hopefully you should still be able to see that. So as you can see, just got square brackets where you can actually swap out your own information. It's pretty easy to do, and then you can actually use this for yourself and implement it. But as you can see, it's just focused on browse. It's got no additional links or information. If the ad talks about browse, then the page talks about browse, and that's what I recommend you do. So yeah, this is why it works, and because when a potential client who clicked on an ad about browse expects to see browse, they land on the page and instantly they see the text is about browsing, straight from the start, and everything is just about browse. So that's exactly what you want. Basically, I've already explained that, but yeah, I'll just scroll so you can just screenshot it and use it. Cool. Okay. And then we get on to the second phase. So the second phase, this is how you actually get those clients on autopilot, while you sleep, I guess. So that's the automate phase. So this is where we use Kyra, your AI personal assistant, who turns leads into clients just on autopilot. So this is an AI assistant, basically like an AI chatbot that answers all your inquiries, from SMS, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, just without you really needing to respond to them yourself. And it's just completely done for you by the AI. So you get book consultations in your calendar, without you actually needing to reply to them. And I've got a video showing you exactly how to do that. Obviously, I can't explain exactly how that works right now, but I will link the video below, as with the Google Ads video. So I guess the baseline is that you don't need to learn the algorithm. You don't need to dance or post every day to get clients, but instead you just need a system that gets you booked consistently, whether you post or not, whether you have an Instagram account or not. So what implementing a PMU Freedom Engine that I've shown you gets you is you'll never have to reply to an inquiry again. You never need to post on Instagram again, and you'll be able to attract clients to you every single month predictably and just focus on being the artist. And so that's what our clients have. So I suppose now you should ask yourself, do you want more freedom for family times, holidays, etc.? Do you want, consistently, do you want to like predictably know how many clients you're going to get every single month? And do you want to stop being the marketer, receptionist, and artist all in one? Because if you do, you're done, being on the social media hamster wheel and just being stumped by the algorithm. Then I have those 2 free trainings that go deeper on the AI assistant and how to set up Google Ads step by step. And you can find this in the description below. Or if you're just ready to skip ahead and get there faster and see if the system could, would be a good fit in your business, then there's a link to book a free strategy call as well. But either way, whichever one you do, I hope you do implement the system. And yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram or something. But yeah, other than that, I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.